and stuff, they appreciate it. And the more elder people think I need help. I've been told to find Jesus. Yes.
And welcome to the Sit Down, where we have conversations with creators from across this beautiful motherland of ours. My name is Makomboy, a filmmaker and an all-round story lover. And today we're sitting down with Hawi Kefale, who's an amazing illustrator and creative director from Ethiopia. She's been able to do work for brands such as Diageo, Coca-Cola, UNICEF. So many of them. And she's here with us today to be able to tell us how she does what she does. So sit down and listen in.
Where do you think up this illustrative concept? Like, are you just drinking coffee in the morning and be like, like, what's the process of coming up with this illustrative ideas and concepts? Where do they come from?
Most of the time, I would say like 80%, 70% of the time, I don't think. I just draw it. It just. I experiment with the lines, draw round shapes, then it comes. But I don't think about it. Most of the time I don't.
We ask, what's going on in your mind? How is that just flowing out of your brain? Like you start drawing lines and it all comes together.
The better works, I would say, they're better when like I just experiment. Like. I see the line, so it looks different. Maybe I could draw an eye. I could put an eye in there, like put a hand there and stuff. That's how it works.
When did you start illustrating, and how did all that come about?
I started illustrating since a young child. I think till the moment that I started to pick up a pen and a paper. I always had a pen and a paper, and like I said before. My dad, he drew a lot. He was a really good illustrator as well. And we just drew, me and my sister, from the beginning. And but like I said before, initially this was not my style. I used to draw realistic drawings, copied other artists, but I was not, I didn't feel it was me. But I think starting from high school or senior year, maybe I started to find my own style a little more. Surrealism is my style, yes.
Yeah, and when I think about surrealism, are there concepts or elements that come to mind, or what's the basis of surrealistic? Is that a word? Is surrealistic a word?
Yes.
Surrealist drawings. Is there are there traits or characters, or are there rules to it? Like, what do you need to think about, or how does it come about? Are there other than just lines and circles? What's behind it?
Sometimes it has meaning. Like there are some drawings that I did that had deep meanings behind them. I didn't go to a real art school. I never went to school, but I don't know if there are any rules. Maybe there are, but I don't know any. Most of the time I reciprocate what I feel. Maybe if I feel sad, if I feel bad, it comes out on the paper, and if I feel nice and jolly and there's more color. And some drawings it had meanings. One time I was upset with someone and I drew a hand and a rose and stuff. For me, it had meaning, but I don't like to define my artwork most of the time. I like to show it to people, and whatever idea or whatever it translated for them, it's okay. But for me, it might have something. You might define it in a different way, and I think that's nice. I like that about surrealism. Yes.
I'm almost dumbstruck because in my mind I'm just seeing the images of your illustrations keep playing in my mind, and probably it's a better idea to jump into it, and this is less of a conversation of what it means to a conversation of how the hell do you even get here. Like, look at that. Like, that is a character I would see in an animation. Like, I can already feel the story inside. Like, this is an old cowboy brush, broom, mop.
Yeah. Like it's an old mop.
Yeah. Like, you wanna tell me none of this? You didn't even write it before, think about it. You just went ahead and started just doing the lines.
I think I practiced with lines and, like, sketched. If I don't have some of my sketchbooks here, but I would have shown you. Like, the way I think is just, it's a mess. Then behind that mess, I try to find something that has meaning, or something visual in it, and then I do that. That's what I do. But it's just a lot of lines, messy lines, a lot of circles, a lot of straight lines. Then I try to find something geometrical, something that's and then create from that on. I think that's my strategy. Then it helps to come up with something a little bit more fresh.
Yeah. And how do you do all the coloring and the color and the detail?
This is done in digital. I did this in Photoshop. But I do both in paper and Photoshop.
And what's been the reception like for all this amazing work that you create?
The reception has been mostly nice. I mean, especially young people, they're into this stuff. They appreciate it. I mean, the more elder people think I need help. I've been told to find Jesus.
What has been of the pieces that we can see here, which one has been the most controversial?
Controversial. I think maybe this one. The ink drawing. Till this day, I don't know what this means. This is the artwork that I am the most confused about. Like,
what do you call
especially
it?
Take a look at it. There are a lot of eyes there. There are creatures eating something. There is a tentacle.
That's the sound I can hear.
And like, there's this weird tree. Yeah.
What did you name it?
It's still untitled. This is untitled.
It's untitled.
Yeah, I have drawings that have titles and that have some story to it behind it. But this is so far, I'm confused about this. I look at it time after time and I'm like, I have no idea what it is. Let me ask you, what do you think this means? Take a look. Take a bit of a look closer, and what do you think it is? If you have some ideas.
It feels like a writer, like someone. It feels like a writer overseeing a room of ideas, or like he's thinking and reflecting, and there's like, it feels like you're in this, like a mind of ideas, like a space of ideas. Noni, what do you see?
When they talk about court jesters, so he looks like a king, and then all these people are in his court, the small ones, and then there's the scribe who's writing down everything he's saying. You see, the one next to him.
Yeah. I think you have a better clue. Yes. Yeah, yours is nice. Yes, you have it right. You're in the right path. The title, I think the title was the power food chain, and it's about power, the different levels of power. So the man sitting is the man, and he's the one in power. He's at the top of the food chain. So we got different type of creatures representing the different levels of power. So we got this character beneath under there who's handling the pipes. He's not happy, he's complaining. You could also see a different, if you go down, someone who's trying to clean up. they're not happy, but they're not saying anything about it. They're not speaking up, but they're like complaining and stuff. Right under there's this typewriter guy, and he writes whatever he's told. So he doesn't think about whatever it's said above, and he just writes down. There's no thought process. He just does what he's told. And the other ones are the helpless ones. The helpless ones are like the jelly kind of things. They are brought into by a pipe, and there's this machine that gives it to the man, and he plays with them like a ball, like a dribbling ball, and they die. And you see one of the escaped jellies looking at one of his friends, like being one of his jelly friends dribbled out of life, and they're helpless. Nobody cares about them there, and they're dying off. And the other ones are this hairy creatures. They have hairs, and they take the corpse of the jellies, and put it on their head. They're like happy, and they got some use out of the helpless dying. And but the end of what happens is they use this jelly for their hair, and they end up on the man's coat, because the man has a hairy coat, so they're being used. And there's ice behind in the cave, if you could see.
I can see
ice.
it. I was about to ask you about that.
Yeah. He sees the entire process, but he chooses not to speak about it. So this is kind of the idea.
Wow, that is absolutely beautiful surrealism, man. I'm seeing enough pieces that I would wanna animate or just have them in my house. Like, yo. Is there a way that you connect so far? Is there a way that you connect this beautiful magic that you do in illustrations to your directing work? How do those two worlds combine?
I'm not the best conversation person, but at least I could detail my ideas on paper. So it really helps me when I come on set and tell what my idea is. I always go with a storyboard, and it makes it very clear. That's what I use it most of the time so far.
Great.
Yeah.
And wow, I am like, what are we looking at?
So it's a commercial for a beer. This is another as well. It's called. It's written in Amharic letters. Are you familiar with Amharic letters?
Yeah.
So we have our own letters, and it's called Kadami, which means Saturday. So the letters have life. They're like they're working in offices, and when the working hours is done, so they look at the time, work is over. So the letters come together. It's Saturday, and they dance. That's the idea. It's a short 15 seconds. They're like ideas.
Well, you see, now I can fully see the two worlds combining. Your illustration work and your directing and the animation work. It's like, yes. All right.
በአውደ ዓመቱ የገና ለታ አይሉምና ሎሌና ጌታ በበዓል መንፈስ ሲታወድ ሀገር ከኢትዮጵያ እንኳን ሆን የሚያሰኝ ነገር ወጣት ተጋጥሞ ቅሌ ጨዋታ የጎበዝ ሩር ግዋን ስትመታ ከልብ በሚፈልቅ ንጹህ ፈገግታ ከአበቦች ፈክተን የገና ለታ ከያለንበት እንደ ቤተሰብ የሀገር ልጆች ስንሰባሰብ እንኳንስ ምድሩ ሰማይ ይደምቃል ሽክ ማለትስ ሀበሻ ያውቃል በዓል ማክበርስ ሀበሻ ያውቃል ደስታ መካፈል ሀበሻ ያውቃል
So you'd understand this better if you're Ethiopian, because this is very cultural. So in the beginning we see this hockey sticks, but they have like life, they're dressed like Ethiopian traditional clothes, and this is called it's done for Ethiopian Christmas, which is Ganna. And we have like a traditional Ganna game. It's like the hockey game, and they play the ball, they pass it around, and it cracks open, and it's like in it there's barley, and the barley falls down in this melting pot, and which is goes with identity of the beer, which is cold ice. So it falls, the gold barley falls in the melting pot, then forms the golden bottle. So kind of goes with the holiday and the brand of the beer.
When you think about the concept and what you're gonna illustrate, like is there a process that you personally go through, or maybe you can take us through this ad specifically and what was going on?
So normally, like the first thing that I would do is just thinking of the kind of mood that I want, for either for the video or for the commercial, whatever it is, just what kind of feeling it has. Most of the times I start with scenes, then because my background mostly since I was a child is illustrations, I go to storyboards. I think with storyboards. That when I'm done with the shot list, then I write the concept. It starts with the story. That's the illustration, drawing the scenes, what kind of shot they would be. So for this commercial, I had two options. I think the second option was picked, but it was more modified due to the short amount of time we had to do it. So you have the concept notes, then the mood boards, and this is what the storyboard looks like. For instance, for this option, the first shot is a scene of there's this traditional umbrellas in Ethiopia made out of straws, and they dance. So the idea I have for this commercial particularly is from that scene from Beauty and the Beast. That scene where all the dishes, the spoons dance for Bella. For Belle, was it? Don't you remember that movie? Yeah. This was kind of the idea I had. Yeah, and it's everything is dancing and joyous. So mostly, you guys may not be familiar with it, but for someone who's Ethiopian, these are traditional gymnastics. It's a hockey game we play when Ganna arrives, which is the Ethiopian Christmas, and they play the ball. You see, they get lined up, they pass the ball goes up, and for this option, the ball then transforms into an egg, and the egg, as you can see on the fourth shot, it goes down in this big pot. When we have the famous food here for holidays is this dorowat, which is the chicken sauce kind of thing, and there's boiled eggs in the chicken sauce, and we go from the egg, from the bowl transforming into an egg, then goes into the chicken sauce, and then we get to see the sauce. Then we have the traditional kind of plate with injera and the chicken sauce. You know injera, by the way?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Oh.
Then the dancing sticks, all dressed in Ethiopian traditional clothes, kind of gather around the food. Then the camera kind of goes up, then transforms into the logo of the beer. So it's keeping in mind the brand identity and also implementing the traditional elements. It was for a holiday ad. So this is the second option. The second option was more because the brand identity was about they have a tagline called cold ice. They're gold. The brand identity identifies as gold, being golden. So I kind of used Ganna, the Ethiopian Christmas traditional elements, and intertwining it with the gold element of the brand. So these are some of the mood boards to help me come up with the idea. So it starts off the same, the hockey sticks dancing around. They pass the ball, and the ball goes up, and it cracks open and opens into a gold barley, the seed. Then the barley, goes down into a bunch of golden barleys. Then when we zoom out, we see the melting pot. So it melts, and once it melts, the liquid, the melted gold passes through, and it's into this. It goes into this rock container that forms the shape of the bottle, the beer. So there are drums, sticks playing around. There's traditional safed. The safed is this traditional Ethiopian dish kind of thingy made out of straw, dancing. Then the sticks pull the rock apart, the container, and the cracks open and form the gold bottle. Then the gold, transforms into the actual real bottle.
I don't know if anyone can say. I don't know if someone is allowed to say anything else other than that was amazing, and we are so honored for you taking your time and taking us through that process. Yeah, and that's
Okay, no problem.
allowing us to get into your brain. There's something going on in there. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something going on in there. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. We're grateful. And yeah, Noni, do you have anything to say?
Where can we get your work? We will buy. We will buy it.
Nice, new customer, so it's nice.
All
Well,
right,
this
thank
was
you so
beautiful.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
in
much.
case,
It was a
in
nice
case
conversation.
anyone wants to, send a DM, find out more, talk to you, how do they find you?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram, so I think that's the easiest way. Yeah, Instagram you could at Hawi Kefale, and I'm always available. And Instagram, Facebook the same. Just if you search Hawi Kefale, you find me.
All right, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking your time.
Okay, you're welcome. I had a nice time.
Same here.
Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.